All right, you're live in Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Awudu Moro, and as I always say, it's always a pleasure to come your way. Now, this show is also live on 94.1 FM. It's on your radio dial, so those of you who want to monitor the show on your radio, because you want to leave home, you have some other engagements, or you have some other, appointments that you intend to attend to, but then you're not sure how to monitor Good Morning Ghana at the same time whilst you want to attend to these appointments. You can tune it's just 94.1, and you can listen to us. It doesn't have a name. It's just 94.1. That's the dial. So joining us this morning for, as usual, what promises to be a very interesting and a very thought-provoking and a riveting conversation this morning. It's Mr. Michael Edu. He's the Honourable Member of Parliament for the Ofori-Krom Constituency. He's here with us. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Good morning, Moro.
I hope you're doing very well.
I'm very great.
How's the family? How's the constituency?
The family is doing well. The constituency is also good.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'll be there tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm making a presentation of some laptops to support the KNUST Vice Chancellor's program for one laptop for needy students.
Okay.
Yeah, so tomorrow I'll be there to make that presentation.
One laptop for needy
students? Yes, so support a needy student.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a program that the Vice Chancellor has instituted to support students who are in need. And a lot of companies, organizations, and individuals have supported it. So I think on Thursday she'll be doing the distribution. And I had promised some laptops to support. So tomorrow I'll do the presentation.
How is the school's management? Okay, so this is the headmaster's personal.
The Vice Chancellor.
Sorry, the Vice Chancellor's personal.
It's a project that the university is undertaking, but
But he's spearheading it.
Yes, she's spearheading it.
It's a she.
Yeah, the Vice Chancellor is a she. Professor Dixon.
Okay.
And the university has ways of identifying students who are needy.
Okay.
It's quite interesting. Just yesterday, I got a couple of messages from some students. Some student leaders visited me in Parliament.
Okay.
The SRC Parliament and various hall presidents and college presidents. They visited me in Parliament. And through our conversations, it came to fore that even students on GMPC scholarship to date have not been paid their scholarship funds, and some of them are really struggling because it's getting to the end of semester. They just wrote their mid-semester examinations, and if the funds are not in, it means they have to keep hiding and playing hide and seek with the university authorities. So these are troubling issues, and a lot of them are needy. A lot of them, quite a number, have reached out to me asking for support and so on. So the university has ways and means of identifying these students. And we are in the digital age. There are students who genuinely need laptops to enhance their research and to support their academics, but then they don't have the means, because even how they went through free SHS to get to university, only God knows. And the Vice Chancellor is doing quite well to institute such programs so that they'll be able to support. I know MasterCard Foundation also has similar programs where they support needy students on scholarship in the university. And we will call on well-meaning Ghanaian civil society organizations and those who are already supporting that they should do well to make sure funds are available so that these students do not find themselves in situations that will be very dire.
How many students are we looking at? Do you have an idea?
I don't have the number, but I know it's quite a lot, so it never ends. Yeah, as many people that can support should do well to try to support.
And is it from first year, second year, third year, fourth year, or just final year students?
Oh, no. Normally first year, second
year.
Yes, and third year. Final year they'll be leaving.
Okay.
Final years will be leaving very soon. So I'm very sure it's first year, second year.
On the contrary, if somebody's in his final year and they're about to write exams, they will be needing these.
But I'm sure by the time a student gets to final year, they would have found a way to access these machines.
Maybe or maybe not.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe not.
We are all assuming.
Yes.
But then I'm sure tomorrow when I engage the Vice Chancellor, I'll get more details on those who who really need it.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it should be for needy students.
Yeah, in final
regardless of which
year you are. I think that's how it's supposed to be.
Yes.
But then the whole idea is to assist you through the academic, the four years.
Okay.
So I think it would be appropriate if it's given to first years and second years.
So when the laptops are given to you, do you take them with you after school, or
those details I'll find out from the university.
You would leave them behind.
Those details I'll find out.
But what do you think? What would you recommend to the headmaster? Would you ask
the vice chancellor?
Sorry, to the why do I use the headmaster? To the vice chancellor.
I think when I get there and we have conversations, I'll understand the details properly, and then we'll carry it on from there.
But if you ask my personal opinion, I think they should ask them to drop it so that others can also have access to it.
Those who are leaving the university.
Yeah,
possibly. I think that
when you're done with that for 4 years, it's assessed if it's in a good condition.
So you are going to also work. Yeah. And you drop it. I think it's fair enough. Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah.
Anyway, so how about the roads?
The roads.
Health facilities?
Yes. So we have an Agenda 111 project,
which
was about 95% complete. And as we all know, the minister came to Parliament and said there was no budget for the Agenda 111. So we are hoping that in the media budget, something will be allocated for the Agenda 111. And the contractors can come back and complete it, because our facility was one of the few facilities that were inaugurated, that was commissioned. And we have some bears, some furnishing and so on. So I'm praying the minister will push so that we can finish the facility and use it as soon as possible. Because in my constituency, for instance, so for we have a population of about 300,000, and quite interesting, Moro, apart from the KNUST hospital, there is no government hospital within the constituency with a population of 300,000. Most of the hospitals you find around are private hospitals. So the Agenda 111 came in to save a situation so that those who can afford private facilities will now have access to government facilities. And it's at 95% complete, just 5% completion, and it's stuck and is being taken over by weeds. So I'm praying that the Minister for Health will come to our aid, and possibly the government will decide to, some of these facilities, take a second look at it so that we don't leave them to rot, as the culture that has been going on in this country for a while. Now, for our roads, there are quite few roads that needs to be done. I put a question to the roads minister quite recently, so he came to answer them. There are some roads that contractors were given to contractors, but I think after the elections, funds have not been released, so the contractors have halted those roads and they've not mobilized to sites. And we're also hoping that I've learned that the minister has started sharing some 10-kilometer roads to various constituencies. We are hoping that we will be included so that eventually we can also have some respite in some of the various communities. Since our community is quite cosmopolitan, it's in the center of Kumasi, it harbors KNUST and 4 private universities. So Central University is in Oferikrum, Valley View University is in Oferikrum, UCOMS is in Oferikrum, and so on. And we also have 2 popular secondary schools, St. Louis Secondary School and KNUST Secondary School, as well as Mansell Secondary and Vocational. So it's a very important consensus, which I think development we shouldn't suffer to get development. Looking at the location and the cosmopolitan nature of the constituency.
The Agenda 111 hospital in your constituency, for instance, what's the state of completion as we speak? 30%?
So
40%?
The last time I was there, it was about 95% complete. All the walls are completed, doors have been fixed, painting finished, some of the instruments fixed, the canteen done. I think they were about fixing the mortuary. Power plants have been installed, water systems installed, water storage installed. Almost everything is done. Quarters for accommodation for some of the workers has been done. So they had even started furnishing it with beds and furniture. The OPD, as it stands now, can be used. OPD is complete. And, there are hospitals that run OPD. So I believe that the hospital could have even run OPD cases and then emergency cases sent to other hospitals. There's an emergency ward that needs to be operationalized, and I was hoping they will fit in the needed equipment so that the emergency ward will be operationalized. And the contractor, the way that Agenda 111 was structured, the contractors have a lot of hospitals they are working with. So the person supplying equipment will be supplying the same equipment for other Agenda 111 hospitals. If government makes available funds to these contractors, what they will do is they will then bring in the equipment. I was aware and privy that some of the equipment had arrived. So if government makes funds available or decides to operationalize it, these contractors will move in to fix the remaining equipment, and we can use the hospitals.
I think it must have been in sometime in 2018 or so. The former First Lady put up, must have been a maternity ward somewhere in Kath.
Yes.
What's the state of that maternity
I'm not
facility?
aware of its current state, but I quite remember there was a facility like that the former First Lady put up, as well as champion other projects also across the country. Yeah.
So maybe it's one of the facilities that you may want to check out when you go back to the
I'll check that one
too out. Because the maintenance culture in this part
of town. It was the children's ward or something like that.
Yes.
The mother unit, maternity and children's ward. Yes. And she championed the same thing in Kumasi too.
In Kumasi.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, so by and large, things are fine.
Yes, things are fine. Hopefully, Parliament will rise end of this month. Once we rise, I'll be in the constituency so that we can better understand the issues.
Okay.
Today, I've seen in the news that the government has paid some monies to the assembly members.
Yes.
Yes, so they are quite grateful.
They are being paid 1,300
cedis.
How important is this?
They are quite grateful. It's an allowance.
Yes, to them.
To support their movement and so on. Over the years, assembly members do not receive such allowances.
Yes.
Unless maybe they go for meetings on various committees within the assembly and they get some committee allowances.
Yes.
But this is going to support their movement within the constituency. But my fear is that once people get to know that, okay, assembly members have started receiving monthly allowances, I can imagine the pressure that will start to come on them. Because even before this, assembly members of parliament, we know the pressure that comes on us. And because when you look at our governance structure, people tend to go to elected officials more than non-elected officials with their issues, because elected officials campaign, and when it gets to these things, it's normally between the assembly members and the members of parliament. So once people are aware that now assembly members are being paid some stipends or something like that, what happens is people will start to send their problems to them. And I can imagine the load that will come on our assembly members.
Well, but that's good for you. I mean, as MPs, because you have been complaining for the longest time the kind of pressure that has been brought to bear on you because constituents have to come to you to demand all kinds of things. But
the assembly members' stipend is about 1,300.
What do the people? I mean, for them, I'm sure for some of the constituents, the fact that the assembly member is receiving some stipends of the sort. And if you go to a very typical rural area where 1,300 Ghana is
it's a lot.
If you give the person 20 cedi, 30 Ghana, 10 Ghana, they will still be grateful.
Yes.
And they'll come to you to take some 50 Ghana.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's progress.
But one thing we must make people aware is that currently the funds going to the district assemblies is more.
Yes, because
about 25 million annually.
Yes.
About 6 million per quarter or so to the district assembly.
Yes.
And if you look at the allocations, the municipal chief executive has allocation for desk for schools, allocation for boreholes, allocation for even school uniforms for unfinished projects, and so on. Even allocation for sanitation and so on. So I believe we have to have a local governance system where people will push the municipal chief executives to do more. Since there's more funds being allocated to the municipal chief executives.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll also be joined by Cletus Seydou Dapila. He's a member of parliament for the Jerapa constituency. It's a very, very popular constituency because of the kinds of people who have been MPs in that constituency. So he'll take his seat shortly. And Michael, you are a member of the. You can correct me if I'm wrong. You are, in fact, a deputy ranking member on youth and sports, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, and you're also a committee member for energy.
Energy, yeah.
And backbenchers business. I don't know if that's in this office. Is it a committee?
Yes, backbenchers business.
Backbenchers business committee. Well, what's that?
So the new standing orders. Honorable, welcome.
Yes. Is that my job for me? He's introduced you. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you're doing well. Good. I'll come to you. Just give me a few seconds. Yes.
The new standing orders identifies that backbenchers must play a role in the parliamentary process, because when first-timers come to parliament, sometimes it's difficult for them to go along with the parliamentary process. It takes a while for people to catch up and to understand the business that is going on. So we created a backbenchers day. I think it's on Thursdays, backbenchers days, the last Thursday of the month or so. And on backbenchers day, backbenchers are given the opportunities to make statements, to ask their questions and so on. On a normal day, you'll be able to make statements and ask your urgent questions and file other questions and join debates. But the way parliamentary practice is, anybody who understands parliamentary practice, you realize that leadership and seniors have more opportunity in speaking, because normally they are on committees, normally they are either ministers or they've been appointees in government before, so they understand the issues more. And when it comes to debates, they have grasp of the issues more than you, the first timer. So when it's backbenchers day, backbenchers are given that opportunity so that backbenchers can also contribute efficiently and understand and learn the parliamentary process. Then the standing orders has instituted the backbenchers business committee. So what the backbenchers committee does is it also supports backbenchers development and then also reports to the Speaker of Parliament on issues of backbenchers, so that backbenchers are carried along the parliamentary process and not left behind. Then everybody develops at a faster speed. Oh,
then it's a very, very important committee.
Yes.
You see, you're ignorant about how things are done.
Yes.
You're a member of the backbenchers committee, and your seniors, basically, would walk you through the parliamentary processes and procedures and so on. And so just to familiarize you on what happens in parliament, so to get you ready for parliamentary duty and parliamentary work.
We had a workshop in Tema.
It's new, isn't it?
It's new.
Yeah, it's new.
We had a workshop in Tema quite recently. The committee, a lot of members came. And the clerk of parliament was there. A lot of we brought in a lot of how do you call it? People with knowledge in parliamentary processes. They came to give different lectures and orientation on a lot of things. Backbenchers had the opportunity to ask questions, relevant questions, things that on a normal day you will not get anybody to explain to you in the chamber or on the floor. So it's quite important. It's quite important.
Wow.
Over the period, we've kind of created a stigma around the name backbencher. But when you enter parliament, then you realize that, even in the UK parliament, backbencher is not, to say, a wrong thing. It's just a term for a first-timer who is in parliament, and you are now going through the parliamentary rudiments and processes.
I see. As for Seydou, he's graduated now.
Yes.
he's a big man. But I'm sure occasionally...
there are seniors There are seniors who even prefer to sit with the backbenchers.
Oh, really?
Yes. Some seniors like to come to the
What's
back.
What's that? Solidarity?
No, the back is fun.
So I'm sure you recall your days, eh?
Yes, very well.
2021.
Very well.
First of all, good morning. I hope to. I want to thank you very much for joining us on the show today. I think this is your first time.
Yes, this is my first time.
Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. But I'm sure you're a regular viewer of the show.
Thank you very much.
And so you're quite familiar with the culture here. You know.
Very well.
But anyway, so I'm sure. First of all, how are your constituents?
Well, let me thank you for the opportunity to appear before this show, and then thank my colleague who is here and your distinguished viewers. Let me say good morning to the good people of Jirapa, the chiefs, my party leadership, the branch executives, and everybody who have always supported me. I'm very grateful. Let me say that basically the constituency is peaceful. We have no issues. Security is all right. People are going about with their normal daily activities to earn livelihood. We are also providing the leadership and support that the constituency need to strive. Foundations have been laid. I came into Parliament in 2021 in opposition, so I laid a foundation for a takeoff. And every constituency, every part of the constituency can feel that. If you go to any police station, any zone, you will hear that the MP has done A, B, C, D. So I just want to assure them that I won't let them down. I'm going to, fortify the development that we need moving forward from my second term. So it's basically, I enjoy the support, and I will not let my constituents down, and my party down.
What are some of the major challenges that you face in your constituency? Hard as you're working to try and make the lives of people better?
We have challenges. We have issues of rural electrification. For the past 8 years, we haven't been able to connect one community to the national grid in my constituency. But you have over 60 to 70 communities that are not connected to the national grid. That is a major setback. And I have taken steps. The Minister of Energy has given me that support. We are going to start with some 20 communities this year. So engineering work has been done, and very soon men within the energy sector will go to the ground to start to work to connect some communities to the national grid. We have issues of roads. Our roads are very terrible, and I know that I don't need to talk. The President has taken steps with the big push to ensure that at least our roads are fixed. And we also have issues of irrigation, issues of support for students, women empowerment. A whole lot of things are challenging. We are challenged, but it's on. We are fine. I believe that before the year ends, a lot of development will be ongoing in the constituency.
I think sometime in February or so, you told the whole world about a meningitis outbreak in your constituency. What's the state of that? Have things improved?
Yes, it's improved. Basically, it is, this time it's fine. You don't experience it. It is during the dry season when the sun is high that we easily record meningitis in the constituency. But for this season is fine.
We're fine.
Basically, the rain is raining every day now.
Oh, okay.
People are busily farming, in their farms working. So we don't get meningitis. Let me say something about backbench committee.
Yes.
Fortunately, when the committee was established, I was the vice chairman of the backbench committee.
So he's very familiar with it.
Yes, very, very familiar. You see, it is also to...
So that's part of the reforms that
yes, the standing orders, the new standing orders brought in this committee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was the vice chairman, and we did quite some work.
Okay.
It is also to help maintain or instill sanity in the chamber.
Okay.
You know, basically, when you hear some turbulence, it is usually the backbenchers that do those things.
Yes.
So I'm sure as when it starts, his side of leadership will be engaging him to talk to his people, that kind of thing. So it's a very good committee.
Okay.
The people, like he said, try to poo-poo it, like, what is that? Why vice chairman of backbench committee? Like he said, it is just to define a first-timer. You are a first-timer. You know, you are a first-timer. There are second-timers who are part of backbench. You understand? The definition of backbench is more like MPs in the chamber who have no roles or leadership roles to perform. You understand? So if you are an MP, even a third-timer, a second-timer, and you don't have a defined role, leadership role, or any position anywhere within the government or whatever, you are a backbencher.
A backbencher.
You are a backbencher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the education. So there's a story on the front page of today's Daily Graphic, which I want us to look at briefly before we move into some other issues. And fortunately, we have a deputy ranking member on youth and employment, right? And so we'd want to look at why, after spending such a colossal amount of money on creating all kinds of youth, employment agency, we would we're still grappling with youth unemployment. And so the Daily Graphic front page says employment measures have not worked. And there's an ESA report, that says by McLean Kofi, who says the government interventions intended to reduce youth unemployment have since 2015 failed to effectively address the issue. A report on a study by the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research has established. The report further emphasized that while initiatives such as the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, which is NEIP, Youth in Agriculture Program, which is the YIAP, and Nation Builders Core, NAPCO, offered training and job placement opportunities, they often overlooked youth interest as the training models and job offerings were developed without the direct input of the intended beneficiaries. And okay, right, that's fine. It identified two main causes of high youth unemployment in the country: a significant mismatch between the skills gained through training and the labor market demands, and a shortage of job opportunities to accommodate the increasing number of young people entering the workplace. Now, these are some of the findings of the study included in the report titled Ghana Social Development Outlook, which is GSDO Report 2024. The report, which was launched last Friday, attracted personalities such as the Pro Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs at the University of Ghana, Professor Gordon Akazuwene Awandari, and the Executive Director of the Institute for Democratic Governance, Dr. Emmanuel Akwete, with the Executive Director of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, the local chapter of Transparency International, Mary Awalana Ada, chairing the function. The report is structured in 10 chapters covering education, health, housing, water and sanitation, employment, energy, gender equity, social relations, population, among others, providing timely insights supported by data and expert analysis. The 2024 edition is the 7th in the series of the reports. Now, the head of the ISE, Dr. Martha Awo, who shared the report findings, stated that government programs such as NEIP, YAP offer training modules, while NAPCO, for instance, was focused exclusively on job placement. She explains that the training programs were focused primarily on the agricultural sector and entrepreneurship. Dr. Awo said job placement programs did not center on the provision of what the International Labour Organization would classify as decent jobs. She said payment of arrears in particular led to dissatisfaction among beneficiaries towards the system. And it goes on and 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 on. I'm saying this is worrying. Because if you look at the amounts of money that we are pumping into the creation of these employment initiatives, and to think that it is not working. And so what then the impression it creates is that we are probably throwing money down the drain. But before we do that, Honorable, before you came, there was something I wanted to find out from you, but I think it escaped me, and thankfully Annie has just reminded me about it. This is in your constituency, as part of the research that we did.
Yes.
What's happening? What's this? What's the current state of this? I'm sure these are down, isn't it?
Well, it is.
And also the nature of the road.
Yeah, it is. That's a trunk road.
Okay.
That is actually the boundary between myself and Nadoli Kaleo, Speaker Bagwin's constituency. My colleague Anthony Menkarasu. Yeah. So that is our boundary.
Okay.
It's It's awarded on contract. And we followed up.
When was it awarded? When was the contract awarded?
Yeah, I think the previous administration.
Okay.
Yeah, the previous administration. So anytime you go. So even I can show you a letter where I wrote to the Ghana Highways Authority about updates and what they are doing about this road. You know, and I haven't received any response yet. But it is actually a death trap. I hope Ghana Highways Authority, the Ministry of Roads is listening to us. But when I leave here, I'll go to remind the minister about it. It's more a death trap than anything. Very, very serious. So it has come to our notice. Citizens are very concerned about it. It's a trunk road. It's just not for the people of Jirapa.
Yeah.
This road leads to Hamile.
Okay.
Hamile, you know, you have these big trucks, Burkina cars that plow the road. So at any point in time, it can cave in. And we shouldn't wait for that to happen before we do any intervention.
Wow.
So it's my hope and appeal that Ghana Highways Authority, the regional management, should immediately report this to National for emergency works to be done.
What's that? Is it a pond or something? Just close to the...
You know, it is it's a river.
It's a river.
And
okay.
the water comes through both sides.
Ah.
So the water has been hitting the road banks and then eating into it. So it's virtually caving in.
Wow.
Very, very dangerous.
Wow.
Very, very. Every day, constituents send me messages about it.
Wow.
Everywhere it's a road I use myself.
I hope no casualty has been recorded yet.
So far, no casualty has occurred.
But we don't have to wait.
We don't have to wait for a
it.
casualty before we come in.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it will cost us an arm and a leg to fix this.
Yeah, that's the problem. So when you go, you will see some chippings. Some chippings have been lying there for like 3 years.
Whoa.
You know, it's been lying there for 3 years, and no works has started for the last 3 years. So it has come to our notice. I'm very much aware of it because it's a road I plow, I use every day, and many other people use this road.
And I can imagine the pressure. Huh?
Yeah,
it's pressure.
These things it needs central government intervention.
Yeah.
It is not something that an MP can go in with your mega common fund. You can't even do anything there. So I'm using my good office to ensure that the road is fixed. So when I leave here, I'm going to talk to the minister about it. And I know they will send a contractor and the emergency to sort it out.
And that's Governor Abuja?
Yes, he is a listening minister. When these things such things come to his notice, he doesn't joke with it. And I know he will act accordingly.
Okay. All right. So we're back to the issue that we talked about, which is considering the billions of cedis that have been pumping into all these youth initiatives, and now we're telling that these employment measures are not working. So what do we do now? Do we stop creating them, or do we streamline them? What do we do going forward? I mean, you've heard the ESA report. I'm sure you've not looked at the entire report, but you have an idea of what they're talking about.
Yeah. Moro, I would have wished I'd seen the report a week ago.
Why?
Because over the weekend, we met with the agencies under the Ministry of Youth Development.
Okay.
And YE was there, NEIP was there, the National Youth Authority was there, their CEO, Osman Ayariga, my very good friend, was there. And if I'd seen this report, maybe we could have spoken to them to streamline some of their activities. Because we cannot more or less rubbish the work that has been done. You see, let me take YE, for example. They have different models. One of the issues that ISA brings to fore is that the labor market, some of the jobs do not fit the labor market demands.
Yes.
But if you look at YE models, they have youth in sanitation. That's where Zoom Lion comes in. They had youth in security support. That's where they have the prisons and the community police assistants and all those. They have even nursing assistants who support the various clinics and hospitals in our various constituencies. So people will apply for these positions. It's not like why he just assigns you. People apply based on what they are interested in.
Okay.
And they go to work with them. Where I think we might have a challenge, and that is where I'm seeing in the ISA report where they say most of the jobs are centered around agriculture and entrepreneurship. Where I think we might have a challenge is the programs that are implemented by NEIP and the other agencies.
Yes.
Yeah, because most of these programs are agricultural based and entrepreneurship based, where they seek out to give capital support kits to most of these young entrepreneurs. But I'm hoping that with time, if I get access to this report, I will understand it very well and understand the findings and the solutions that they prefer, so that when we meet the agencies, we can assist them. And I also encourage the agencies to get this report so that we can assist them in fine-tune some of their models, so that we do not have the situation where funds will be pumped into developing youth, but then we continue to have high unemployment. Quite interestingly, over the years, we've seen these programs, like in the previous year, we had a presidential business pitch where businesses like Chicken Man, Pizza Man came out. I'm hoping that we can have records of all the businesses that have been able to access these support services from the government, so that with time we can measure, we can monitor and measure the success rates and the success stories. I think that is where we are failing now, how we are able to monitor where the money goes and how it's being used, those who benefited, and where they have gotten to, how many people they've been able to employ from what they assessed. I know the current government has each program, the Ejumera, the NYA has some amount of money that they intend to distribute to support startups. Quite interestingly, I think they need to open up. The government is centered around people close to the government. That's even with the MPs, it's centered around the majority. But they need to open up so that other constituencies can also benefit. I'm with the committee, so I'm privy to information. But a lot of people are not privy to what is going on in terms of these job programs. It will interest you to know that some people have been given allocations of about 30 slots for startup capitals for people, entrepreneurs in their constituencies. But others don't know anything about it. And quite interestingly, the funds that have been released is woefully inadequate. It's woefully inadequate. The funds cannot support the program. And what will happen is some members of parliament will go speak to entrepreneurs in their constituency to access these support programs. Let's say 30 people applied for support with the hope that their MP is leading the charge for them. And then it comes out that only 2 people are going to get the support. What happens to the 28? What you've done is you created a burden for the member of parliament, because the 28 will feel the member of parliament couldn't assist them, or possibly wasted their time and all these things. So I'm hoping the government will take these issues up. Since youth unemployment is on the rise, more students continue to complete school, universities, and come out after national service without jobs. Like Asa said, we need to align our job training, skill training to the labor market. You see, I don't know the research that has been done over the period in terms of labor market demands, but then there has to be proper research to tell us that, okay, currently we need this number of electricians, this number of drivers, we need this number of, let's say, tailors or seamstresses or tilers and so on. Then the agencies under the youth development, which seeks to develop skills and entrepreneurs, can then go in and target the numbers. But as it stands now, it's like we are just picking and doing these trainings without any proper research. When we met with the Minister for Youth Development, he indicated that he had created a budget for research. I'm hoping that research will bring results which will steer affairs properly and direct them to areas that will be more profitable to them, as in areas that will benefit more youth than the approach that we are going now.
All right. Now, Cletus, there's a portion of the report which talks about the fact that young people's interests are not central to the development of either the training modules or the kinds of jobs on offer for them. And I'll flesh it out a bit when I come back. So just stay with us. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on the Metro Television. Please don't go anywhere. It's a very interesting point.
At Mycom JA Limited to show you the Promethean Active Panel, the ultimate tool for corporate institutions, hospitals, schools, and your home. With its crystal clear 4K display and an unbreakable screen with an ultra responsive touch technology. This isn't just a screen, it's a game changer. For corporate institutions and in schools, this active panel can be used for Zoom meetings and PowerPoint presentation. And your homes are not left behind. You can use it to watch all your favorite programs by just connecting to a Fire Stick, and you can get access to channels like Netflix and Amazon, and voila, you are in there. At Mycom JA Limited, we provide you with the best quality products from the United States of America with 1-year warranty. You can get an...
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson,
Me didn't tum. Mr. Femi Kakalika, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Femi once now. Hey, that's you. Impruka. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the accent. Me did it, Sasso spray. Mr. Femi Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso. Come tum preko.
Ebusiafo ye mama kwaba eba Children's Palace. Nkwala nyema nyina fie enyi. Yonkwala ntade money mema nyina ntare nyina wa say yonkwala shoes, yonkwala duane, yonkwala wipes, yonkwala diapers, yonkwala toys, baby coat. In fact, bibia opama omanyina obenye biwa ase.
Located at East Legon Hills, Nana Chrome KFC. Contact us on 059 6377 172. Children's Palace. Happy children, happy fashion. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Whoop iPhone papa. You were home.
So open iPhones accessories papa dia menhwe baby ya
me mo akwa ba EBA phones and accessories.
Sebani EBA yeton iPhones any ho accessories. iPhone 50 XL kosi 16 Pro Max. Accessories ye wo charger, AirPods any iPhone ho akade nyina. Nianoma ye ni sikapudu e de beto iPhone. Se say ya ankrankre boja and na say abanye juma your phone nyina for 40% beji iPhone bia ope na ni aka no wo de bosome miensa etua ne nkakra e kwan a obefa so de achi enyi dial *713*5571#. Oba sheno so say wo de wo Ghana card ene nia e kire say wo ye adwuma hwehwe ye kire kwan e wo circle mo ene tiptoe line ye ni modern photos enchen ho a afein so say wo ba American mall ye ni odo rice ene di nhwani kuma senso ye wo edum Central Prisons runabout ejekum abunsan ni freyen e wo numbers na ebu screen ni so no EBA phones no hassle cra.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600 and connect with us on Instagram, X and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less, choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Buy affordable service plots and lands from estate masters. Currently selling our next cottage, located at the newly proposed airport city with a starting price of 25,000 Ghana cedis. We also have Palm Hills, located at Panfukuro in the Gomwa East District, also with a starting price of 15,000 Ghana cedis. Available also is Coastal Park in Lakpleku, which is a 15-minute drive from the Ningo Senior High School, having a starting price of 55,000 Ghana cedis. You will receive a free site plan with indenture once you successfully purchase a land from us. For any enquiries, contact the numbers provided. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
A home is more than just walls and a roof. It's the warmth of family, the assurance of security, and the joy of shared moments. Whether you're returning from abroad or seeking a new beginning, Rehoboth Havens Ayumensa is where your journey truly begins. Nestled beneath the tranquil Ebri Mountains, this gated community offers the perfect blend of modern living and natural beauty. Our 2, 3 and 4 bedroom homes are designed for family living with spacious interiors, elegant finishes, and all the comforts that make life better. From cozy living rooms for bonding to modern kitchens for culinary creativity and private gardens for peaceful reflection, every space is thoughtfully crafted. At Rehoboth Havens, your children play safely, your family grows joyfully, and your memories are built on a foundation of care and community. Starting from 675,000 Ghana cedis with flexible installment plans, your dream home is within reach because everyone deserves a place to truly call home. Rehoboth Havens, where futures are built and dreams come to life. Call us on 0553 751933 or 0206 823524 to secure your future today. Rehoboth Social Housing, your housing dream becomes reality.
You're still live in Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I'm here with Michael Kwesi Edu. He is the Member of Parliament for the Forikrum Constituency. and also Kletuseru Dapela, who is the MP, the Honourable Member of Parliament for the people of Jirapa. He's a Deputy Foreign Affairs and a Regional Integration Vice Chair of Parliament. So it's about the ESA report. Honourable, what do you also make of this? Have you really been thinking about this?
I have a problem. You see, the researcher is talking about value for money issues here.
Yeah.
Well, he's saying that if you look at the amount of money that has been invested in these programs and the resource, it tells us that we haven't made progress.
Right.
That is basically what he's trying to say. And I honestly sided with him.
Okay.
I think that what we need in this country is industrialization. We need serious orientation of our current curriculum from kindergarten to the university level. The kind of things we study from kindergarten to the university, honestly, has no bearing. It's part of the problem, the reasons why the youth are not equipped for employment.
Right.
First and foremost, the opportunities are not there. And what we also studied in our various institutions or one growing up, it doesn't equip us to as well. So we need to look at these two. Curriculum needs to be revised, tailored to modern day trends, modern day employment opportunities. How do we equip our youth to be able to take advantage so that they can create something for themselves? It's not just training us. You see, the theory is too much. We need to practicalize. Moro, even our engineers, most of them is just paper, it's theory. The practical aspect of whatever that we need to do to industrialize is dying down.
Right.
It's dying down. Why? I had an uncle who was an engineer from Tech. May his soul rest in peace. If he was driving and his car had a problem, he will fix it himself. I traveled with him from Jirapa to Bolga. He used to be with Ghana Water and Sewage those days. Now Ghana Water and Sewage Corporation. You know, he used to be the regional manager and all of that, Upper West, Upper East, called, may his soul rest in peace. Those who are in the sector will know him. One, Mr. Raphael Nampusur. Nampusur, if he was driving his car those days and he has issues, he will come out with his tools, open the bonnet, check here, and he will get it fixed. And he's moving. You understand? All that I'm trying to say is that recently, by way of my work as Foreign Affairs Committee, I traveled to Morocco. I went to Morocco, then we went to Marrakesh, a university that is built by a company that is mining their phosphate. They have phosphate.
Okay.
The company that is mining the phosphate built a very well-class university for them.
I see.
And is the university is a company that is funding the university for the people of Morocco. That is how best, that is how best they are making good use of their, mineral resources. So when you go to the university, basically, they do practical things. They have a faculty for genius. They gather them and put them in that faculty. It's just for you to create something that they can develop and benefit from. All that I'm trying to say is that youth employment.
But let's look at the Marrakesh model.
Yes.
Now, is the university's objective for setting up, is the mining company's objective for setting up this university, is it to produce human resource that feeds the
university?
No, that feeds the mining company. Is
Not
that why
really.
you set it up?
Not really.
Okay.
Yes, you have a faculty for that.
For mining?
For mining.
Okay.
You have a faculty for that, faculty for agric. When you go there, when you go to the faculty of agric, they just don't grow any plant anywhere. They take the soil of that area. For instance, Upper West, Jirapa. Okay. They will take the soil to the laboratory. They do all sort of tests on the soil, looking at the kind of crop that can do well on that soil. Then they will then tell the agric people that, look, this area, this particular crop will do very well. This is the yield you get if you plant an acre, a hectare, blah, blah, blah. So the farmers are well informed as to what type of crop to produce on what soil and at what area. That is the kind of work they are doing there. Practical things.
Whoa.
Practical things.
And it's also quite clear that they're spending a lot of money,
yes,
resources on research and development.
Yes, that is why there is a whole faculty for that.
Research, yes.
There's a whole faculty.
Researches have been done in Ghana.
Yes.
I can tell you I'm privy to researches done by Ghanaians,
yes,
sponsored by FAO.
Okay.
Where if you look at the research, they tell you every soil in Ghana, all over the country, what kind of crop has to be grown there. For instance, if you go to the coastal lines, they have a higher pH level, acidic level. So they do not prescribe that you grow cocoa along the coastal belt, but then you can grow rubber and palm along the coastal belt. And then cocoa goes into the middle belt.
Okay.
And then if you go to the north, they have one of the best, the richest soils in the north. But then their problem is irrigation. So these kind of researches are
they exist.
I understand. Mike, let me
anyway, so I want him to just to buttress the point you're making.
Let me. Yes, I get what you see.
But it's not the same.
It's not the same. Okay. This is an agency that has commissioned another agency to do a research just for a purpose. You understand? I'm saying that they have a faculty that does it continuously.
Yes.
You understand? Why? You can grow granite in an area, and at a point, the granite will not be doing very well on the soil. So you need to change. So they keep on doing these things, and there's a whole faculty for that. Okay. That's the point that I'm making. Now, if you go to the same Marrakesh or Morocco, any region that you go, they have about 12 regions. Any region that you go, they have what they call National Skills Development Training Institute. That is where all this youth employment, youth in this, youth in that, all of them are being trained.
Oh, one place?
Yes. For every region, they have a National Skills Development Training Institute. In every region. A huge one. For skills development.
So they've decentralized it?
Yes, they decentralize it. It's decentralized. So if you are not in formal school, then that is where you will go.
I see.
And the aim is for you to acquire a skill. Either to be a designer, to be a carpenter, a tiler, a mason, a mechanic, whatever. And I think that is the way to go.
And not to chew, pour, and pass.
No, not to chew, pour, and pass. The chew, pour, and pass is what has brought us to where we are today. So, if we don't industrialize, look, the money that is being invested in all these models that we are talking about, this money could create 10 or 20 big factories for this country if you quantify the money. And that could actually create meaningful employment for the youth, sustainable jobs.
Yeah, but you see, I get where you're coming from. I don't know how long it takes to set up a factory. But Honorable, every single year, we're churning out graduates. Either from the vocational schools or from the arts and sciences, and so on and
humanities.
So forth. Or humanities, thank you. Now, this industrialization drive you're talking about, in as much as I agree with you that it's important for us to industrialize, to set up more factories. The more factories you set up and employ people, etc., etc. But in the meantime, when the chaps are out of school, what do they do whilst these industrialization initiatives are ongoing?
Yeah,
because that will take a bit of time, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
so. For instance, when the MPP was in power, they were talked about 1D, 1F.
Yeah, which has been cancelled.
Right? We can debate and interrogate whether that. No, hold on. We can have a whole conversation about whether it makes sense or doesn't in terms of the model. That's another conversation. But the thinking behind it, the philosophy that drove that initiative was to set up factories that would employ people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want us to talk about how it was done. We can have a whole, topic on that. How do you call it? Program on that. But you know the thinking, right? You know the philosophy that drove it.
Yeah.
People are coming out of school. They are not getting jobs to do. We need to find, we need to create, jobs for them through industrialization. Of course, they're closely related to it is that the more we export, we earn forex, it helps with the city stabilization, and so on and so forth. So it's the economics of it. But NAPCO, for instance, we're told it's supposed to be some kind of, it's that's the word I'm looking for. But it's just to make sure that people have something to do.
Yeah.
It's not permanent. It's a temporary sort of an arrangement to get people to do something. Exactly. To get people to get something doing whilst the bigger things are being done. And
also to get industry experience, some experience.
Yes, exactly. For them to get some experience. So I don't think the thinking behind it is bad, is it? It's just the way we've done it.
Is it, Moro? I talked about
and you know I asked this question.
Yes.
Because you said, because of the thing you said, the issue, which is valid, which is we're spending so much money on these agencies and so on that we're creating. Whereas if we spent a quarter of it, we could have set up some factories here and there to employ the teeming unemployed youth. Can't we do the same? Can't we do the two at the same time?
Let me tell you, I talked about curriculum.
Okay.
I talk about curriculum and I'm talking about industrialization. The two should go together.
I agree with you.
You understand?
Yes.
If the curriculum is what it is today, okay, basically the youth or the Ghanaian will not be skilled.
Yes.
If it is what it is today, you see, going to school is not to come out and be chasing for white collar job.
Yes.
I have always told people, nobody has collected salary to be rich in this country.
That's true.
All the business, the rich people that we hail, they are not being paid by any government.
That's true. Yeah.
They are on their own. You understand? I've seen young people who are on their own doing very well because they got the skill and they got the support and they develop it and they are making it big. If you ask why, I know somebody less than 25 years who is a caterer. The money he earns, the money he earns, he tells me he's a university graduate. He's done his master's. He says that, Honorable, I can't work for government. How much will they pay me? How much will they pay me? And I say, you are right. Because he tells me in a day, the deliveries he does in a day, he makes close to 5,000 a day.
Wow.
Close to 5,000 a day. Yes, after expenses.
As profit?
Yes, as profit.
What kind of job is that?
Yeah, he's into eateries.
Oh, you mean the person cooks and delivers?
Yes, he's into eateries. So this is a skill he learned and built on it, and he's also employed people.
You understand? The person is just an necessary graduate.
You understand? So now let me tell you one thing about this youth employment, youth interventions we've been doing under the youth employment agencies over the period.
Yes.
Look, the NAPCO. Go and look at the amount of money that was invested in NAPCO. If that money were given to the youth for them to even start a trade, I tell you that it would have yielded more results than what we did. It's just an example I'm giving. You understand? So, Moro, all that I'm trying to say is that let's reorientate our curriculum. The things we do, you and I, what we learn in school, how has it helped us? What the things we studied in school, how has it learned?
Yeah.
You cannot study. Look, we we learn so many things and yet we are master of none.
Yeah.
That is the kind of curriculum that we currently have. So we need to look at it. We've run those curricula for so long. What's the impact? Let's analyze it. Even at the university, you are talking of courses that we go to do at the university.
Hey, don't mention some courses. The professors.
I will not mention any course.
Professors are watching.
I will not mention any course. Even the students, not just the professors.
Yes.
Some people will feel slighted if you mention their program.
Yes.
You understand? But what we are trying to say is that, look, let's be very serious as a country. Let's have a national development plan, irrespective of which party that is in power. Let's go by it. It should be backed by law. Not this autopilot manifestos that we do. It will not help this country. It will not help. Let's build our institutions. Let the institutions work, irrespective of whoever that is in power. Let there be continuity of projects and programs. That is the only way we can achieve results for this country. Sometimes I worry. I worry as a Ghanaian and as a leader. If I go to my constituency, the number of people that come to me with CVs, then you are sick already because you don't even know which agency you are taking these CVs to. Yesterday, I approached a manager of an agency for employment for somebody. He said, my brother, in a year, we can only do 100. But the CVs that are on my table is almost 1,000. So we lamented. I sat with him, we lamented over what we can do to create space so that we can employ our youth. But come to think of it, how equip our youth? How are we training them? That is key. How are we training them? What skill are we giving them from basic level to technical? Technical and vocational training, that is the way to go. But from the beginning, we made it look like it is average or bad students, less intelligent students that are supposed to go into technical schools. That is where we got it wrong. So if you were sent to a technical school, you were considered to be somebody who is less intelligent. So everybody wants to go to mainstream secondary school. Then we all go there and come out.
It's a flex.
You understand? That is the problem.
It's a flex.
But you see, Moro, I tell people today, if you want people who earn money, it is the masons, it is the foreman, it is the painters, it is the plumbers, the carpenters. They earn money, good money in this country. Yet we poo-poo it from the infancy and make our children to believe that it is for the less intelligent. So nobody wants to go into it. And that is one of the problems we are facing. So somebody will do a course that has nothing to do with banking, yet he wants to work in a bank. And he will tell you that, oh, my colleague completed the same course, the uncle or this politician put him in a bank. So why can't you do it for me? That is always the problem. That is always the problem, you know. So we are not being realistic with the kind of education that we are giving to our children. We are not being realistic when it comes to industrializing this country. 1D1F, very good policy. How was it implemented? So now, I come to talk of the same, what's the name, value for money. So if you look at the amount of money that was pumped into 1D1F, and the resource, my brother here, if we do the analysis, you will realize that, look, how difficult is it to establish an industry or a factory? People did it. Even go and look at Kwame Nkrumah. Those days, the factories Kwame Nkrumah established for Ghana, we could not even maintain them. And that is one of the problems of this country. Maintenance, management, zero. And all because of indiscipline, corruption, and all of that. Moro, today, what do we owe in this country? Go to the banking sector, go to the mining sector, go to the oil sector. Everywhere, what do we owe? Airline, we don't even have it. You understand? We don't even have it. So if we don't even have anything to owe, we don't owe anything, how do we get good jobs for our own people?
I agree with you.
There's a few government sector positions that people will fill. Now, when you even go, most of them are overfilled. There are people who run shifts now. Some people go to work twice in a day. Others do once in a day. Others do 3 times in a day. Because the sector is more or less choked. So we need to think outside the box and create something and industrialize. Let's think. Let's just don't be doing, government or business as usual. No, let's think. I always tell people, if we cannot even think, can't we hire people to come and think for us? And so that we pay them by way of consultancy. We can do it. Other than that, Moro, we have a problem. And youth unemployment is a serious national security threat.
But I've asked this question. I know there are ideological dimensions to this. Because, for instance, the NDC believes in the states doing business. Okay, the state doing business. They believe in that. They've not said, of course, they believe in private sector as well, but they believe the state has a business to do business. The MPP doesn't believe that. They believe that MPP believes that the private sector is the engine of growth. Yes. And Kofo has been saying it time and again.
Yeah, it's always slogans and rhetoric. How have we empowered the private sector?
In fact, I've not even come to my question yet. So the idea is that when it comes to employment, it is the private sector.
Yeah.
Right? And that we need to take the burden off the public sector. Because otherwise we end up burdening the national kitty.
Yeah.
Once you employ somebody somewhere, unless of course the agencies that are using their own internally generated funds to take care of themselves. But even with that, the more people so if you take a place like NPA, the more people they employ, the more money they have to spend.
Yeah.
Now the amounts of money that they ought to channel into the national kitty then reduces.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, the MPs and government appointees are all looking up to these heads of agencies to help them recruit their people. So the person you visit them and they tell you what my agency is supposed to employ 200 people, but I have about 800 here.
Yeah.
Because MPs are worrying me, chiefs are worrying me, pastors, and so on and so on and so on and so forth. So there are real challenges there. Now, back to the question we asked. How do we incentivize the private sector for the private sector to expand and employ more people to take the pressure off you people?
Yeah.
Because the public sector is not sustainable.
It boils down to the Ghanaian attitude of not being trustworthy and honest.
Expand that.
Let me tell you. Yes, because look, various successive governments try to help private companies to empower them to expand and employ Ghanaians. Usually, they squander their money.
Well, that's true.
They squander their money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like my party has come, I've benefited from this facility. I won't pay. Maslow, microfinance, very brilliant idea. Very brilliant idea. People took monies by way of loans that to do petty businesses, trade, and be able to pay back so that it can be a revolving fund. People take it. Once they take it under a particular regime, it is assumed that it is my party money. I won't pay. And because of bad politics, recovery has also been bad.
Very difficult.
You understand? Recovery has been bad. There are people who took facilities even in banks under certain regimes and they refuse to pay because they think that why? I've suffered for the party. Why will you give me a facility and ask me to go and pay?
Yeah.
That is the problem. So it boils down to the Ghanaian attitude, our mentality. Let's help this country for once. Let's think Ghana. Let's all play our part. Moro, this money that we are chasing, how much? How much? You are born, you came just without even a rap, and you go like that. And yet, when people have opportunity to serve, when people have opportunity to benefit or help the state, they take too much advantage.
Yeah,
they take too much advantage. And that is what affects this country. So I'm happy the current president is not missing his words on the fight against corruption. Last week, he met us and he reiterated it. Any appointee who find yourself in corruption, I will not be able to defend you.
You're on your own.
You're on your own. And I want to applaud him for that. And the appointees are listening. And I'm happy they've seen some appointees who are under investigations. So everybody will have to be You have to up your game.
Are there some appointees currently under investigations?
No.
Oh,
I'm not talking of Ken. I'm talking of the previous, the former appointees.
Okay.
You understand? So that is why he sounded a warning that every allegation will be investigated, and the perpetrators will be sent to the law court for them to justify what they did.
Right.
You understand? So he was sounding a warning to the current appointees that if you get yourself involved in anything like that, I won't come out to say that you haven't done anything untoward. I won't interfere in investigations. And that is President Mahama. And I want to applaud him for that. Corruption is a canker that we need to nip in the bud if we want to get things right in this country. People don't even have shame, moral. They just think that once I am on this job or in this position, monies that are meant to solve problems for millions of Ghanaians, and individuals think that I can swallow it with my family, thinking about you and your family, not thinking about Ghana.
I get it.
And that is where we have all these problems. So for me, the researcher, I want to tap his back. The current youth employment managers, my good brother Malik, and then Osman Ayarga, and then my brother Pablo, they should look at this report very well and see how they can fine-tune it so that we can get things right. You understand? They are doing very well.
It's a very good proposal.
They are doing very well, but they should study the report. They should engage the agency very well so that they sit with them. Then they look at what actually can help the youth. Let's do that. And the youth too, look, don't shy away from skills job. Don't. In my constituency, Moro, anytime I'm going home, I try to buy sewing machines. Anytime I'm going home, I try to buy hair dryers. Because somebody wants to go and learn how to sew.
Yes.
He cannot buy the sewing machine. So sometimes they come with such requests and I'm like, okay, you come tomorrow. Then you come, I say, okay, this is a sewing machine. How much do you need to pay the master? Then that's the admission fee.
Yes.
Then they mention, I provide, go and learn. You understand? But I'm saying that, imagine if we had a national training institution in every region. Some that deals with those who want to learn weaving, those that want to learn sewing, those that want to learn makeups, those that want to... Huge place. You understand? Somebody will not from Accra or Jirapa traveling to Accra to come and learn makeup. You understand? Somebody will not travel from Jirapa to come to Accra to come and learn design, fashion and design. You understand? So we need to orientate. We need serious orientation.
I get it.
Yeah, if we get that and get those big skillful centers in every region, so that at least people will be motivated to learn this skills job. The current arrangement, already from infancy, from childhood, we poo-poo it. We poo-poo it. So the stigma is still there. Somebody does. So I have my brothers that I'm pushing into the technical schools. All of them, about 3-4 of them. And they are doing very well. They are doing very well. Without government employment, they are always busy. Sometimes when I call one up, I said, where are you? I'm in Kumasi. What are you doing? I'm working. You know, I'm working. They themselves admitted that they want to go, and I also advise them. The white-collar jobs are not available like that. But if you are an electrician, you don't need government employment to work. At least somebody will call you. All of us. However privileged we are, you cannot do electrical work.
No.
You can't do tiling job. You can't do plumbing work. You understand? So these people, once you have somebody who is skilled and is in this job, the person is good to go.
Okay.
Painting work. I don't think you need any deep skill to do painting work. You understand? But if they paint, your painters come to paint your house, the money they charge, it's so much. It's so much. You understand? But this is a job that somebody would think that I'm too big, I can't go to do this job. My brothers and sisters, the youth of this country, any job that you can do to bring food to the table, to make you not be dependent on anybody.
Do it.
Do it.
You know,
I'm not saying go and steal.
You know that the irony is that when we travel abroad, the kinds of jobs that we look down upon, in our part of town, those are the jobs that fetch more money abroad.
Yes.
You know, if you've had the opportunity of living outside before, whether you have some electrical or some plumbing, and they come in the way they charge.
What? Today even is like that too. In Ghana here now it's like that. The electrician comes to your house and do 1 or 2 things. He charge you. You said the carpenter comes to fix 1 or 2 things. He charge you for his skill. His skill. You don't have it. You don't have the skill. So if you mention an amount,
except that some of them they cheat us too much.
So we do not have to buy the charges.
When I go to buy that, they will always panic.
But so it tells you that it's a good area.
There's money to make.
There's money to make.
I'm going to take your good remarks and then we can move on to
some
other issues.
I think we cannot just throw away some of the support services that these agencies are doing.
Not at
just
all.
Because we think we have to put together industrialization so that we create more employment. Industrialization is a process. We've not gotten there. We are in the process of getting there. I think the last government instituted the one district, one factory, just as you said. The MPP has an ideology that's supporting private sector. That's the private sector development. And if you look at the 1D, 1F policy, it wasn't supposed to be funded by government so that it becomes a government project. It was supposed to be funded by the banks.
Right.
So you, the private sector, you send your idea to the secretariat. They will scrutinize your idea with the bank and make sure that it's feasible, it can work. Then the bank will bring in funds so that you build a factory.
Okay.
So it wasn't like the government was doling out monies to individuals to go and build factories. People have various ideas, but sometimes when you put those ideas to the litmus test, you realize that they don't work. So the secretariat will not give you money just because you have an idea.
Right.
Your idea has to be an idea that can work, that we can put the factory down and make it work so that it will employ people and also can produce and possibly even export. If you look at the Ekunfi factory, it's working, and today is one of the factories that supply natural fruit juice to Ghanaians. Our children are taking it, adults are taking it, and it's quite remarkable looking at the fact that just a few years ago, a government program came and private individuals came together and started something like that. I know even existing companies like Casapreco, who took advantage of the 1D, 1F to get extra funding, which they use in setting up their plant in Kumasi. And other factories within the sector, there are paper towel factories, tissue factories, and so on that came up. So I am quite saddened that I think quite recently the Minister for Trade came to Parliament, and in a question when she was answering, she said they've ended the 1D, 1F. It's quite disheartening. I would have thought that maybe the government will find a new approach, even if they are not going to use the same model that was being done.
Okay.
You'll find a new approach so that they will incentivize the private sector to continue. I know the government continues to insist that they will push their efforts through the 24-hour economy. I've seen the 24-hour economy paper, the policy document. I've seen the policy document. My fears is the fact that listening to the leaders of the forebears of the 24-hour economy, what's his name? Is it Mr. Guzitano?
Guzitano,
he claims that they will need about $4 billion to be able to implement the 24-hour economy. And here we are, even with the big push, the funds that is supposed to support the big push is not available. We do not have all the funds for the big push. So how are we even going to get $4 billion to support the 24-hour economy? And even in this form, you are looking at tax incentives. Meanwhile, this is a situation where you need taxes. At this point, you need your taxes to be able to support your various programs. As it stands now, most of the agencies or ministries in government are not getting the funding that will help them to even implement their policies and programs in those ministries. The finance minister has not released funding allocations for a lot of ministries. And we are here talking about 24-hour economy. We are here talking about substituting a policy like one district, one factory with 24-hour economy, which we do not have a clear vision how it's going to be implemented. And these are the kind of policies that I believe would have brought the jobs so that youth unemployment and unemployment in general would have reduced. But be as it may, you see the world is changing. If you look at the dynamics, the world is changing. It is not just industrialization that will create employment now. Now, even if you look at some countries, they are looking at AI, digital transformations, and this digital technology creates more jobs even than some of these industries. If you look at the US, some of their Silicon Valley companies, you see one company employing thousands of people through technology. There are people who sit in their house now and work from home, and they get paid quite well at the end of the month, or they get paid wages that are quite substantial. So I believe that we don't just have to look at industrialization, but also look at how we can transform unemployment by the use of technology. I was glad that in the 2024 elections, both candidates, the running candidates, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia from our side and President John Mahama, all retreated the point that they were going to train youth in digital skills. And that's why the president launched the 1 million coders program.
Yeah.
It has not taken shape yet. I don't know if my senior brother will tell us whether they've been able to recruit people for the 1 million coders.
Yeah, people have registered.
People have registered.
The portal was open and people
so I don't know the
have
form is going
registered
to take the mode of training and the kind of skill they are going to give to them. But we in the MPP had a plan, and I hope stakeholders, government and civil society and other stakeholders in the technological space will come together so that there is a proper model that will be able to train youth in digital technology so that it reduces the unemployment situation. Now, you see, technology is so interesting that there are people who do not even have higher education. But today, if you go to some of our communities, some of these young guys sit behind computers and the things they can do, you'll be marveled. Recently, there was this young guy who was trending on social media from Kumasi who fixes Apple phones. He fixes Apple phones, and the kind of things he does will marvel you. This is a gentleman who has not been to a higher, he's not attained any higher education. I think after his secondary education, he did some few trainings, and now he's one of the best when it comes to iPhone repairs and those stuff. So I think we need to train more people in these areas, looking at the point where now everybody holds a mobile phone.
Right.
So if you are training more youth in even phone repairs and all these new technologies, what happens is you create an easy-go employment where people can have employment on the go and have the requisite skill to be able to meet demands in the labor market. These are areas that we are looking at. You see, even when it comes to energy and transportation, we are now looking at electronic buses and all these things. Have you even thought about how we are going to train the next youth in how to fix these electronic buses, the batteries, how do you work around these batteries and so on? Have you thought about all these things? Because now there's something called disruptive technology. In every period, you realize that a technology will come and then the old technology will wipe away.
Yeah.
And the new technology will come and take over. So in some years back, you remember Packard Bell computers and so on. Then Dell and HP and all these computers came. We used to use YAM phones, and then these modern Android and other phones, iOS phones came and took away the YAM phones that you were used to those days. We used to fancy these YAM phones. They are all gone. The Nokia 3310 and all these phones, you can't find them again. People are not even interested in them again. So as technology is evolving, we need to train the youth so that they know that the new things that are coming, they have to have the skill. And these are the things that will give them employability. You see, we talk about people traveling outside the country and the areas, the informal sector that we do not appreciate here, that is where they get meaningful opportunities and make money out of it. Here, like we spoke about earlier, we do not target the right job markets. For instance, like I said earlier, I expect more EV cars to be coming in. Just last week, I saw a gentleman launch an EV sale. He's brought in EV cars and a charging station and so on. People will be fixing charging ports. There's a bill on EVs that is coming to Parliament. I think it was introduced to Parliament in the last government and it's been reintroduced. This bill will seek to identify the areas, the green areas around EV vehicles and EV charging in the country. So how are we preparing ourselves for these things? How are we training the youth so that they know that very soon cars that are using fuel will be phasing out? So we need to train ourselves ahead of what is coming. So this is where I have a challenge, that our various institutions will match the training to whatever they are doing. And then government can then push laws to support it. For instance, when you go to the various universities, they are training tourism and hospitality students. But how many hotels do we have? And what laws have we put in place so that the hotels will be able to employ these tourism and hospitality students? When you go to the Arab countries, for instance, let's say UAE, Dubai, every hotel that you sleep in, there's a tourism desk. Just beside the receptionist, you see that there's a tourism desk there, that you can go to the tourism desk, and then they will plan all your tourist visits. They are more like a guide. They'll plan everything for you. They are well dressed. They will plan the vehicle that will come and take you. If you're in a group, whether you want a van, if you are 2 or 3, whether you want a Land Cruiser, they can plan all those things for you. Whether you want a safari ride, whether you want to go to a water park, whether you want to go to Abu Dhabi and look at the Grand Mosque of Abu Dhabi and all those, they'll plan it for you. And we can use these university students who are being churned out of our various universities as tourism students, have a law that incentivizes these hotels, that if you employ, let's say, 2 university students as tourism guys or tourism support, you will get this kind of tax incentive. And automatically, if you have, let's say, 1,000 hotels across the regions, and these hotels are employing, let's say, 2 tourism students, automatically you've employed almost about 2,000 students off the market. And these are the practical examples that I expect that we will do, so that private sector will also have the opportunity to also support government in terms of recruitment. But then as it stands now, everything has been lammed on to 24-hour economy and some of these agencies. Like I said earlier in the months, we used to say that the government is quite new and we want to give them time. But 6 months is enough time, and we want to see proper action so that we will move away from the lip service and we will see actionable plans. That's my expectation.
I see. It's interesting. It's interesting he raised the issue about placing graduates from our universities at the hotels and incentivizing these hotels to employ them, and so that they would basically sell the tourism prospects of this country to, clients who walk in and so on. How different is that from the whole idea behind the 24-hour economy? Because you're talking about incentivizing these hotels.
Yes. So
how different is that?
So I think the 24-hour economy model is looking at creating incentives for industry.
Exactly.
So that they employ more and work beyond the...
Yes.
But
extra hours.
This is not extra hours. Okay. This is normal hours. But then there's a need. You create a need. There's a need that has not been met. Okay? Because people travel into the country and nobody is there to direct them where to go.
So the question is,
give them a proper plan.
So the question is this, that at least you acknowledge that there's demand for tourists or for tourism services.
Yes.
There's demand.
Yes.
But question is, why do you think these hotels have not employed these graduates there for them to do the very things that you're saying? You're
possibly one, they've not thought about it. Two, there's no motivation.
Okay.
And three, they are looking at cost.
Okay.
How much they are going to spend on them.
Right.
And if there's no incentive to support them, they will not be motivated to employ.
So you see, so then you're saying
the 24-hour economy is looking at a whole period. Let's say 24 hours, people are running shifts, and they are going to look at how they reduce electricity rates, how they will reduce taxes for these companies so that they can employ more people, so that some will work, let's say, up to 8 p.m. and then some will work into the night.
So you don't...
But that is based on demand.
Yes, I'm saying
if
that...
the demand is there.
Don't you agree that there are businesses that want to do these things, but they don't have the incentives to do it?
There are existing businesses
That's what I'm saying.
that are already doing these things.
Yes.
For instance, the hospitals are running 24 hours.
Yes.
Some of the industry, the mining sector, they are all running 24 hours.
Because they have developed the capacity to do it.
Exactly, because there's demand for that.
Okay.
If today I open a factory, let's say Casapreco, let me use Casapreco as an example. Casapreco is today exporting to the Saharan regions, Burkina and so on. So if the demand is so high, I will employ more and let some work in the night. So 24 hours, if you have the demand, nobody will even ask you. Because I will make my money. You understand? I may not even need the incentives. Because if I have the demand, the same machines will work overnight. People will supervise. So drivers will come and haul the goods. More produce will be done. Retailers and distributors will be needed. And you keep expanding. And that's what it is with every business. But there are some businesses you cannot run a 24-hour economy with. See, I read a document about the UK when they decided to run a 24-hour economy after COVID. What they did was they centered it around transportation. That's the London, how do they call it? The train, the subway.
It's a transport for London?
Yes, the underground train.
Okay.
Yes. So they centered it around transportation and night businesses. So cinemas, nightclubs, restaurants, and train and bus systems. So that was how they started it after COVID. So that they realized after COVID, nightlife had died. So the taxes that the government was getting from nightlife was reducing. So what they did was they had to incentivize all the restaurants, nightclubs, cinemas, and these night businesses so that they can employ some people in the night, and then they can reduce some of their prices. Then people can come and take advantage. They had to reduce the cost of transportation on trains and buses because government was taking that cost so that people can, instead of going during the day to a place, you rather travel in the night so that you get cheaper fares. Then you can take advantage of the situation. That was how it was done. So if you are opening it up, what will be the cost implication to government? And that is what Guzitano is saying, that it's going to cost us $4 billion. Is this government ready to accommodate $4 billion? Do we even have that capacity? So that it doesn't become something on paper that you speak up out and then, like our normal politics, it becomes part of our sloganeering and we keep going around saying 24-hour economy, but we will not see the real effect.
Okay. Yeah, Moro, let me just say one or two things. The big push. Okay. The big push, monies have been allocated for big push. I just want my colleague to know that we are...
How much?
Currently, the roads sector alone is taking about 1.3 billion.
But 10 billion was planned for big push.
You understand? And currently, just this year alone, the road sector alone has been allocated $4 billion.
This year?
Yeah, this year.
And how much has been released?
Huh?
How much?
Yeah, it's been released. So
no, how much has been released?
The 4 billion. The 4 billion is given to them.
No, actually,
yes.
It's actually 40 billion cedis.
No.
It's 40 billion cedis. That's what the The roads minister announced, and even the president himself.
No, what I'm saying is that
okay,
this year, according to the finance minister, that is the money they've allocated to the road sector for them to start road constructions. That is not even part of the big push.
4 billion.
Yes.
Cities.
4 billion cities. 4 billion cities.
Okay.
That is the money that they are going to use to start road projects. Now, number two, the big push. All the paperwork is ongoing. Procurement is ongoing. And I'm telling you, by end of July into August, President Mahama will cast salt for most of the roads that the big push is going to support. So monies have been allocated. But you can't just start work like that. You know that procurement will have to be done. And I can assure you that procurement is ongoing for various contractors to bid for these projects under the big push. I can assure you. So by close to month ending or first week of August, you will see President Mahama cast short for many of these projects to be started. That is just the point that I want to reiterate.
Okay.
The 24-hour economy, we are not looking at every sector cannot do 24-hour economy, just like he said. So in the same vein, the Guzitano document is telling us that it is not. You are, for instance, if you Tema Port just started 24-hour economy operations. You understand?
Yes.
To go to the passport office, many of the ministries are starting. You understand? Some of the private companies you talked about, yes, they can do 24-hour economy, but they need government support by way of incentives, by way of provision of security, by way of a whole lot of things. That is what we are coming to. So any company that wants to run 24-hour government service, you go and engage the secretariat. The secretariat will look at your operations and look at how they can augment you to be able to run that service.
Okay. All right. Please stay with us. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Don't go anywhere.
MGL Logistics and Supply is your trusted partner, providing seamless solutions for all your procurement needs. From sourcing products to managing imports and exports, we ensure smooth and efficient transactions every step of the way. Whether you require goods from across the globe or need assistance in exporting your products to international markets, we got you covered. General trading is at the heart of our expertise. We specialize in a wide range of products, catering to various industries and markets. As a trusted dealership in building materials, we provide high-quality products that meet the demands of our construction projects. Additionally, we act as manufacturers' representatives, connecting producers with distributors. Our expertise in logistics is the backbone of our operations. We plan and execute transportation and delivery of goods, ensuring they reach their destination on time and in optimal condition. MGO Logistics and Supply, guaranteed satisfaction.
Wabedum tamaso. Hey, J. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makwaya mabesisia. Abozege. Akache say no ya konate and the more drink woman. Hey. But I tell me. Oh, sorry. She knew her old days. Hey, Dabio, baby wom. Ready? Hey, baby wom. Uncle. Ah, Aji. I'll cause some discomfort. Ah. Uncle. Sorry, well, uncle, where would I die? Why your funeral? At your phone for Aerofield Trading. Sorry, it killed them all.
No mum share nanda danya was mosquito call is to do a munumu. Na say spray with them musa. Chaisima a dronum and sana ko dynamo.
And Kratoi FDA Ajatum. In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Kel Charcoal toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is several buying, a man is swing, and a sansu mama hoto so a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal toothpaste.
Choose Kel Charcoal toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Buy affordable service plots and lands from estate masters. Currently selling our next cottage, located at the newly proposed airport city, with a starting price of 25,000 Ghana cedis. We also have Palm Hills, located at Panfukro in the Gomwa East District, also with a starting price of 15,000 Ghana cedis. Available also is Coastal Park in Lakpleku, which is a 15-minute drive from the Ningo Senior High School, having a starting price of 55,000 Ghana cedis. You will receive a free site plan with indenture once you successfully purchase a land from us. For any enquiries, contact the numbers provided. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
You're live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I'm here with two very, very distinguished gentlemen. Michael Edu, who is the Member of Parliament, the Honourable Member of Parliament for the Furikrum Constituency, and also Kletu Sedu Dapila, who is the Honourable Member of Parliament for the people of Jirapa. We're having a conversation about the employment challenges or unemployment challenges that we have in this country, and they've all been sharing their perspectives on this matter. Now, let's move on and talk about another issue which, for me, threatens the very existence of our democracy, or the survival of our democracy, or the Fourth Republican constitutional order. In fact, it even threatens multi-party
democracy.
Exactly. And it's about this cycle of electoral violence. And closely related to that is political vigilantism, and how do we nip this in the bud? So far, we can count about 6 or so, where we can talk about Talensi, we can talk about Cherepone, we can talk about Akwetia, Etiwa, we can talk about Ayawaso West Wogon, and then the most recent one, which is this one. Even Akwetia. And so quite clearly, we have a fundamental problem to deal with. It's beginning to look like when there's a by-elections, we struggle to manage it peacefully. Yeah. We struggle to manage it as compared to, say, even the general elections. So we need to find a way of dealing with this. If you look at today's Ghanaian Times, page 12, it talks about, it says, official perpetrators according to the Interior Minister. Now, Julius Yapeteti is reporting, remember, for the Interior, the Minister for Interior, Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak, has assured that persons involved in last Friday's Ablekuma North election rerun violence would be identified and punished in accordance with law. He said that John Dramani Mahama-led administration would not condone any form of electoral violence, irrespective of who is involved. I have spoken to the Inspector General of Police family on all the happenings of Ablekuma North. The videos of the disturbances during the election rerun have been forwarded to him. I have instructed him to act swiftly and bring the perpetrators to book. We are not going to condone whether people within our party or outside our party into going around doing anything untoward. We can assure the public that under the leadership of the President Mahama, no such group will be allowed to form, Alhaji Muntaka stated. He gave this assurance at the presidency in Accra yesterday when he took his turn to address journalists at the maiden edition of the Government Accountability Series. The rerun of 19 police stations in Ablekuma North Constituency on Friday was marred by violence as unidentified thugs visited mayhem on some electorates. Now, notable among the assaulted was the former Minister of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, Hawa Kumsin. The Minister for Interior condemned the violence and called it a scar on national conscience, having sustained the Fourth Republic for over 3 decades. According to Alhaji Muntaka, MP Asawase, peace and security was paramount to the holistic development of the country and won't be compromised. On why the perpetrators of violence 3 days after the action, have not been arrested more than 3 days after the action, Alhaji Muntaka said identifying such groups has been a challenge. These guys, after the action, they vanish from the system and it takes time to track them. But assurance is that we're not going to allow this to go unpunished unless they flee the country. So long as they are around, they should rest assured that the law will take the course, because we cannot allow this to happen. Oh, we've been saying these things in the past, haven't we? We even set up a commission of inquiry in 2019 when it happened. There were recommendations.
Tomorrow,
the expectation was that we're not going to have a repetition of what happened in Ablekuma North. So what aren't we getting right?
Tomorrow, the violence that characterized the Ablekuma North election, quite troubling, because it shows a sense of retaliatory politics that is going on. You indicated clearly that from Etiwa, we've done Sheponi, we've done Talensi, Akwetia, then it came to Ayawaso. For the purpose of education and for history purposes, you see, every 8 years there's a new generation. And the new generation comes and they do not understand where we are coming from. They do not know where we are coming from. Previously, if you look at MPP, our values, we believe in free and fair, the rights of the citizen, free and fair elections, and so on. So we've championed proper democratic practices over the years. And the reason why we championed us moving from the opaque ballot boxes to the transparent ballot boxes and some of these electoral reforms. But with time, realize that there was a period in time that we go into an election and you get macho men coming to steal ballot boxes and running away with ballot boxes. Then it got to the point where we go into an election and people bring these vigilantes and macho men, come with cutlasses, machetes, and guns as experienced in other elections and by-elections from Cheponi and so on. So there was consistent intimidation in our by-elections, which necessitated that, political parties must protect themselves, because we also realize that you go into an election, the security services are there, but they do not act. There is inaction on the side of the security services. So today, if you ask any politician, they will tell you that if you are beaten in an election, you are beaten for free, because nobody will act. It's quite surprisingly, during elections, when these things are going on, you will see security men stand and watch, or they even run away. If you watch the videos from the Ablekuma incidents, you realize that even when journalists were being assaulted, security men were looking on, and some even moving away, to the extent that a security man assaulted a journalist. When I came in, I was watching the video from the gentleman who said, "I am Bernard" or something. He received a very dirty slap for something he had not done, quite painfully. And it's good that the security man in question has been interdicted. But if you look at history, these inactions from the part of the security services has created a retaliatory position on the part of the political parties. So what happened is MPP goes into Akwetia Etiwa, Chirepone, Talency, and they are beaten, some are maimed, some are shot at, and so on. All these things went on. So fast forward, there is Ayawaso. That anger over the years is built in these people, and then you see retaliation in Ayawaso. That retaliation doesn't end because the people who experience Ayawaso are new people. Those people who experienced Ayawaso had not experienced Etiwa, or had not experienced Chepone, or had not experienced Talensi. So they also, in their mind, decide to wait and retaliate. And that retaliation is what you are seeing in Ablekuma.
If we left out Techiman.
Techiman too.
Yeah.
And now, with what has happened in Ablekuma, there are people who have started saying that if you are not careful and nothing is done about the perpetrators of these actions, then we might see another one someday. That's why people are saying that they won't forget what has happened. If you will end this, then proper investigations have to be done. The people who perpetrated those acts of violence must be arrested. Those acts were shameful, to say the least. You see, some people try to justify it, and I told them that, you see, watching Hawa Yakubu beaten and stepped on, Hawa Kumsin beaten and stepped on, what comes to mind is, this could be my mother. Because Hawa Kumsin is 59 years old. When I check her records from Parliament, she's 59 years old, almost 60 years. So imagine a mother of 60 years being kicked, stepped on the floor like the way it was done, the manner it was done. If it will take somebody who is not human, it will take somebody who doesn't have conscience to be able to entertain these things. And quite interestingly, when listening to Honorable Muntaka Mubarak, who I respect, you know, he's my neighbor in Kumasi. His constituency we share a boundary. Listening to him, I get the sense that nothing might be done. Because the faces of these gentlemen are all over. When you play the video right now, you see them. There's even a video that the gentlemen were on the back of a pickup and boldly saying that they came here and they beat Hawa Kumsin, confessing to the crime that they've committed. The video is there. They said they came and they beat Hawa Kumsin, confessing to the crime. Their pictures are all over social media.
But you heard Muntaka say that...
and the Minister for Interior is telling us...
He said the security agencies are struggling to find them, to locate them.
Oh my God. The Minister for Interior is telling us that the security agencies are... See, in this country, people perpetrated acts of crime against policemen. Less than 24 hours, those people were picked up. These people are known. They came in party pickups, registered numbers. When you watch the videos, you see the registered number plates of those pickups. Some have been seen in videos circulating where they were being buzzed inside the seat of government, Jubilee House. That was where they were being put together to go and do whatever they were going to do.
Someone did a Photoshop thing.
It will be insulting on my intelligence for anybody to tell me that it was Photoshop. I know what Photoshop is. Moro, you know what Photoshop is. The most painful thing in this country is when we are talking about serious matters, then people want to downplay it. Just like the LGBT issue where individuals came to desecrate the Independence Square, and we had a leader in Parliament standing in the chamber, the House of Records, with the sanctity of the maze, saying that it was an AI-generated picture.
He's since corrected it. He has apologized.
He has apologized. We thank God. But you see, these things shouldn't come from them. It will be insulting on my intelligence for anybody to say that it was Photoshop. These are clear images. See, that's the presidency one showing. These are clear images. How can this be Photoshop? Even AI cannot generate such vivid pictures or videos. You understand? And these guys, you see, over the period, because of such intimidations, then NPP decided, which everybody knows that NPP, these things are not part of our values. using intimidatory processes in elections and so on. But these things have gone on for a long time. So MPP decided as part of our election protection mechanism to institute the Delta forces and all these groups so that they will support us. Quite painfully, a lot of people advised against disbanding these groups. But then the then President Nana Akufo-Addo, in his own wisdom, decided that we do not just disband them, but we legislate against it. So there was a vigilante law that was passed to legislate against vigilantes. And some of these gentlemen who were part of our party and still part of our party are pained because they feel the party didn't treat them well. And we are privy to videos that are now circulating that some of them are speaking out. And now what we are doing is, with what has happened, that we've seen that, okay, the NDC is ready to use these vigilantes to brutalize people in elections as they've been doing in the past. So it means that the last 8 years, the only reason that they could not use these people were because the security service were up and doing, and they were scared that the security services will stand up against them. That was why they were not using these people. But now they have been emboldened because they feel their government is in power. They feel the Minister for Interior and Defense and the National Security are their people, so they can do whatever they want to do. So they go around threatening on social media, putting videos out that they will beat people, and they've gone on to carry the toss. They say from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So the things that they plan to do, they've gone on to initiate it to the extent that even without sympathy and conscience, somebody who can be, some of them, their mothers, they could beat her to pulp. If you engage in these things with your fellow men, it will be quite understandable. You will say, oh, it was a give and take and so on. But to go and beat a woman the manner they did. And what shocks me is those trying to rationalize the point that Honorable Hawa Kumsin, in the attempt to defend herself, when the people had charged upon her, sprayed a pepper spray, and they are alluding to the point that because she sprayed pepper spray, that's why she was beaten. But if you watch the video, these well-built men had charged upon her, and with or without the pepper spray, whatever they had planned, they would have been beat. She would have been beaten. See, I've seen an earlier video where Jifa, what's his name? Jifa, the NPA boss.
Gordon Tamaklo.
No, the NPA CEO.
NPA CEO is Gordon Tamaklo.
No, it's not Gordon.
Or you mean Jifa Guno?
I think no, it's not Jifa Guno. Eduji.
Yeah,
yes, that's Gordon.
Yes,
Tamaklo.
Gordon. So the NPA boss and then some NDC party people, they had gotten to this particular polling station that was showing before they get to the gate.
Yes.
And there was a gentleman saying, how I couldn't sing, they should go and beat her, they should go and beat her. So if you watch the video, they were telling him to stop. The gentleman was inciting that they should go and beat the woman. And they were telling him to stop. The woman was inside, and there was no chaos inside. But that gentleman incited, and within minutes, the next thing we saw, people had charged in, broken the barrier, pushed the security, the police forces outside, rushed inside to go and beat our country. So you see that this was a premeditated action. It was a premeditated action, and this is a crime that shouldn't be let go, because if the security services fail to do anything, what will happen is these retaliatory attacks will not stop. And we do not know what will happen in the future. You see, today there are calls within the MPP that they should regroup some of these men who protect the party. They should go back and beg them. And I know there are people who are continuously, since these incidents happened, calling for the regrouping of these men. And is that what we want as a country? That there will be no end to this violence, there will be no end to these vigilante actions. I thought we had gotten to a point of our democracy where we need to protect even the sanctity of our elections. We needed to protect our democracy so that the name that we have attained in the global circles will continue to stay. But this is a mar on our democracy. How can we, looking at the gains that we've gained, put ourselves in such a situation? You see government appointees leading these men to cause harm and damage to people.
Okay.
It's quite disappointing. It's quite disheartening, and nobody, I feel nobody should entertain these things. We can't continue like this as a country.
Okay. Honorable.
Yes.
ATY is just around the corner.
Well,
and already we've heard the rhetorics. We'll show you a lesson. We're going to get ready. Blah, blah, blah.
I get sad when things like this happen in my dear country. We have chosen democracy, and violence is not part of democratic tenets. Might is not right, and might cannot be right. We are governed by rules and regulations. This is a sovereign state with law and order that we must all respect, irrespective of which political party is in power. I have told people, if your party is in power today and you take the law into your own hands, and tomorrow your party is not there, you won't have anybody to protect you. There are people today who never believe they could be invited by IOCO. They could be invited by CID. They were so powerful in their various offices. Today, some are even at large. They are looking at repatriating them to come and face the law. So people should have at the back of their minds that power is not permanent. Life itself is not permanent. And people should know that very well, and crime has no expiry date. If you perpetuate crime today and you go away with it tomorrow, you can be called to come and answer. And the people that embolden you to perpetuate that crime, they themselves will not even be in their various positions, let alone to protect you or to save you. So people should know this very well. I don't like politics of retaliation, politics of equalization. It's something we need to condemn in toto. What happened in Ablokumanov, I was so worried. I was just imagining what President Mahama will be thinking. I was just imagining what my party national officers will be thinking. So, this is President Mahama, who will not want a blood to share, who will not want to hurt a fly in our democratic, in our current democratic dispensation or in his life, knowing him. And that is why when 8 people were killed in the 2020 elections, he was worried and felt that was needless. A single life should not happen, or a life should not be lost because of voting, because of polls. No. You understand? You see, we ought to be very, very careful if we want to maintain our democracy. What we are doing currently, if we are not careful, it looks like we are unable to keep the democracy that we chose to practice. That is the picture that we are portraying. And it's so bad that people will want to do equalizations with distance. No. What happened in Ablekuma was needless, highly needless. And I, reading the statement from my party general secretary, the Honorable Fifi Kote, he condemned it and said it was needless. Honorable Montaka, what he stated yesterday in his press briefing, he didn't miss words. You know that when people do these things, they will not be available because they know they will be looking for them. That you know that, bro. You know that very well. That is the point that he made. But he did not miss words. He said that the perpetrators will be brought to book. And he added that, look, when they do some of these things, most often they run away. That is the point he made. And that is where my brother is thinking that by making this statement means that nothing will come out of it. No, we are not like the other regime. No, we are not. what I want to assure you is that proper investigations will be done. Whoever that did anything untoward will be made to face the full rigors of the law. I can assure my brother and Ghanaians that the NDC is not a violent party. That is why if we check elections that we have supervised, when I say we have supervised, elections that we were in government, no life was lost. They came and supervised elections and 8 lives were lost, and the president then never even made a statement about the fact that 8 lives were lost needlessly. Till date, President Nana haven't made a single statement about the fact that people lost their lives in an elections. 8. It never happened till date. He hasn't made a statement to that. And they described that election as free and fair. Even Ayawaso West was described as free and fair. You understand? So when an elections that was organized, that people were beaten, the candidate then was hostage in his own house. He couldn't come out. And that even made that man, I think he hasn't talked of politics again anywhere in his life. You understand? He has not talked, because I haven't seen him anywhere featured in our politics. You see, so a whole candidate was being held hostage in his own house. He couldn't come out in his own house. A whole MP was slapped, daylight, everybody saw it. People, the commission of inquiry was consulted. People, look, the police officer who had the journalist straight away, you saw what they did to the police officer. Interdiction, straight away. You understand? Bro, please listen to me.
I'm listening to
you. The police officer that had the journalist, bro, straight away, disciplinary actions, he was referred to the PIPs and then straight away interdicted.
Right.
You had people who organized bandits, Delta Force people to go daylight robbery in police uniforms, police cars, army uniforms and all of that, beat people, slapped a whole member of parliament, a sitting MP, daylight robbery. A commission of inquiry was constituted. What happened to them? Where is Azugu Yenko? Those people are roaming. So that is the precedence. You see, like I said, might is not right. I will not justify what happened in Abilekuma North. I will be happy if investigations are conducted and the perpetrators are brought to book. It will help all of us. But let's stop the political equalization. But let me also caution that NDC is not a violent party. We are not. And our leadership will not condone violence. They will not do it. The president has called for investigations into what happened in 2020 and all those electoral violence that has happened. And I know this one will be part.
Okay.
Just like the interior minister has stated, this one will be part. So all the investigations will be conducted. Whoever that did what will be called to answer.
Why do you think the police looked immobilized?
You see,
what is it about police that makes them struggle?
They are scared that they will be transferred.
The truth of the matter is that this one, Moro, we can have a conversation on it another day. Most Ghanaian workers, the kind of politics we do, the public servants, civil servants, they fear politicians. They are afraid of the word a politician. You understand? Because of the way some people use political power. Because of the manner in which some people use political power. It has put some kind of fear in public servants and some security agencies to act. Because, Moro, everybody is looking at your job security. Nobody wants anybody to first hand into your gari. So, when these things, and mostly, these things, they are surprises. They are surprises that they pull on the security agencies. This goes to tell the security agencies that at any point, they should always be prepared.
But what has happened to the police's own intelligence gathering?
That is what I'm saying. You see, that's what I'm saying. These things, it's always, they happen. There are surprises, the parties, these guys will pull on.
But we've had 6 or 7.
Moro, let me also tell you that.
By elections and all the problems that come.
Let me also tell you that the political parties are finding it very difficult to handle these people. Very, very difficult.
Really?
I am telling you. If you ask them...
It was one of the reasons MPP disbanded our group because sometimes when they get to the grounds, you cannot control them.
Let me even tell you.
But you don't. But isn't there anybody behind them?
The disbanding came all right. The law came all right. But why? We went to Asen North. Even Asen North, some of those things happened there.
Yes.
You understand? Vehicles were being smashed and those things. Daylight robbery. We saw. You understand? Yes, the disbanding, the law came all right.
Why do you continue to use daylight robbery? Who has robbed anybody?
No, I'm coming. Sorry. What? Oh, I can define that.
Daylight intimidation.
Intimidation, sorry. Daylight intimidation. You understand? What I'm just trying to say is that let's stop the equalization. Let's understand that we've chosen to practice democracy. These things are not part of our democracy. Okay. Let's shy away from it. Okay. Let's don't say these things happen or that. Look, I told people, Honorable Hawa Kumsin might have her shortcomings in the past. You understand? But it is not right for anybody to go and beat her the way they beat her. It's not right. Why am I saying this? Other people will come and say that, yes, she did some of those things, even in Kaswa. And I tell people that, yes, that is why she lost her seat. And that's why her party lost. Ghanaians frown against abuse of power. Ghanaians are humble people. They like leadership with humility. And that is what President Mahama is exhibiting. Let's follow that.
Okay.
Let's stop the abuse of power.
All right.
It will not help. We cannot, because of Hawa Kumsin, and destroy our brand of humility. No, we cannot. Might is not right. If she did those things, there was consequences. Her party paid the price for it. Okay. She herself paid the price for it. So we cannot go and do that and come to justify it. So I don't want my brother here to try to justify other justify what happened in other elections.
I'm not justifying. Let's
don't do that. Let's don't do that. There's a price to pay if you perpetuate violence.
Yourself and
just a second. Just a second. I beg you. Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm says, "Good morning, my brother. Truth be told, we all condemn we all condemned all the violence acts that took place in Ablekuma North, but we should be truthful to ourselves. These acts of violence took place simply because of the refusal to give justice to those who suffered serious beating in Ayawaso West Wogon. So some of them went to the police with pain in them. So I don't think the NPP as a political party has any moral right to call for justice in Ablekuma North. But rather, a member of parliament, Sam George, was slapped, and up to now, nothing happened. Even members of the parliament from the NPP publicly said Sam George deserves the slap. So what is he talking about? They should give us a break. We have a country to govern. This one here from Musa Abatwa from Asawasi says that the condemnation and assurance to bring the perpetrators of Ablekuma North violence to book is a step in the right direction. In this era of democracy, electoral violence should not be a place in a democratic system. The blame must be laid squarely at the doorstep of President Kufuor and Dr. Mahmoud Wamia, whose failure to implement the recommendation from the Ayawaso West Wogon by-election inquiry has created uncertainty and weakened faith in Ghana's democracy. This one here says there is the Chinese proverb which says that to know the road ahead, ask those coming back. Politicians are setting a very dangerous precedent which, if care is not taken, will be repeated whenever there's a change of government. Let's just ask the countries which have journeyed on this bad road before. Kwesi Ronald in Agona, Odobeng. Now, McLean is from... McLean, you have a very long message. I'm not sure I can read all. To me, one of the root causes of this youth employment in Ghana is the role politicians play in making promises to ordinary youth, especially during election periods. In their quest for power, they freely promise heaven and assuring the youth of jobs in sectors they have little or no control over, such as the police, military, immigration, fire service, and other security agencies. As a result, many young people are left waiting on politicians for jobs that may never come, instead of being encouraged or empowered to pursue entrepreneurship skills training or create opportunities for themselves. Unemployment among young people in Ghana is not just an economic problem, but it's a development and national security concern. To solve this cancer requires a multi-sectorial, inclusive, and sustained approach involving not just government, but also the private sector, civil society, and developing partners. But more importantly, young people must also place at the center of any meaningful solution, not as passive beneficiaries, but active participants. And finally, Abu Bakman, who is an island strategist, he says, Moro, have you noticed how politicians suddenly become the wisest people on earth the moment they enter opposition? All of a sudden, they have all the answers. But where was all the wisdom when they were in power? Honestly, if the horrible things our Akumsin did in their constituency had been condemned and put and punished back then, I doubt she would have been attacked. Actions have consequences. When you let impunity thrive, it always comes back around. I guess that... okay, so you say, so we're good. All right, so a minute each, and then we can go.
I was making the point that listening to Cletus right now, I get the sense, and quite frankly, I think I've listened to Fifi Kuti and yourself. I think so far, you are the only two people from the NDC side that I've heard speak with some conscience.
Oh, don't say that.
No, I said I've heard.
Many have done that.
I've not heard them. I've not heard them. You see, whilst we all condemn the actions that happen, I also feel that it must come to an end. These things, these retaliatory actions must come to an end. My comment was not to say that it will continue. What I meant to say is that if there is inaction, if the people that perpetrated the act are not made to account, if they are not accountable, then what will happen is, just as it happened in Etiwa and Treponi and these things, which communicated to the Ayawaso, then one day somebody will say, Ablikuma happened, so I'm also going to do the same thing.
Okay.
And the cycle will not end.
Okay.
I believe politics should be, our politics should be more of ideas and policies rather than aggression.
Okay.
Currently, what we are seeing is we are bringing in more aggression in our politics than the policies and ideas that will transform lives.
Okay.
And the life transformation is what people are looking for.
All right.
People are voting us into office so that we can put in policies and programs that will change their lives.
Okay.
And I appreciate the fact that my brother here, Cletus, mentioned that it is wrong for anybody within their party to think that this is right and that he's more or less speaking against it, condemning the actions.
All right.
At least that's a step in the right direction.
Okay.
The process starts with the condemnation.
All right.
Then the security services take action against those perpetrators.
All right.
Then we can move forward from there.
Michael, thank you.
We're done. Thank you so much. Except Moro, President Mahama has done it again. He's cut fuel supply to appointees under his government. He said they should also sacrifice. So it's one of the austerity measures to show that, look, we need to all support to build this country.
Is it the fuel
let me just do this. Let me just do this quickly.
Their fuel allowance? Or
I have this quick final announcement to make. The Anona Ebusia of the Etri Buada, the Tekpe North family of Somanya, the Grant Hagan, Tekpe and other families regret to announce a sudden home call of their wife, mother, sister, cousin, and relative. She's called Mrs. Deborah Ferguson Tekpe. She's the wife of Honorable Sir Tekpe, the economic advisor to the President of the Republic of Ghana. Yes, it occurred on the 7th of July 2025 in Fair Oaks, Virginia, USA. She was 63. Yes. Condolences to him.
Smart, bold, unapologetic. This is Annie Ampafo. The voice of reason, a force of media. She's the one Ghana turns to every Monday morning for the headlines that matter and